Hello and welcome to ToontownDogLover. We are back with another video. This is a pre-recorded little video of me talking over some of the clips from last night's event. It is heavily edited and the event was much longer than this. I just wanted to recap for some of you guys who weren't able to be there and don't feel like watching the full live stream of it and skipping over and stuff. So this is for you guys. When you first log in and get settled onto YouTube and stuff, you get this screen when you go to the election live streaming page. And I really think it's cool. Maybe it's like the gray and the white that those colors are just they go together because they're in the same color family and stuff. And then the black ties it together very well. I just like the art of it. It's like Toontownish. I like how they keep the art of Toontown, and I like the little words. I don't know if it was hand drawn or if it was and then I'm pretty sure that it was all electronically made, but if it was drawn by hand, good job to you, sir or ma'am, whoever made this, because I really like it. Another thing that you notice is that it says it will start at 2:30 Toontown time, and yeah, it was delayed a little bit longer than this, but when you initially got there, you were like, oh, it's a 30-minute delay, but at that point, you really didn't care because you were just excited to get into it. And I just really like this page. It just works with Toontown. It's like the little rollback thingies too. It just worked. And getting to look at this screen, I really hope that different live streams have different things that go along with the theme, but I really absolutely did like this one. It was a good job. The second screen that we got to see was the classic screen from last event's, little showing. And that was basically just a Slappy and Flippy's little heads. Just floating there with the little splashes and the little, I think that the screen behind them, it looks like Mickey Mouse, but I could be wrong. It could just be random circles that have nothing to do with each other. But I kind of would I really like the other screen that you just saw, but I mean this one, it ties the event together a little bit more because it's supposed to be this big colorful thing, and I think that it does show it a little bit well, but I just really like the other one. I thought it was perfect. Really good. I also liked this one. I liked how it was colorful. I liked the color scheme that they used. It starts off with yellow, then it went to the little orangey red colors. And again, I really liked how they kept the art of Toontown because it still looks like Toontown. And if they keep it looking like Toontown but add different features into it, I think that the game will really prosper more than Disney's Online did. Because that was the reason why it didn't do so well anyway. It didn't really change. Then you saw this little starting in a minute sign, which isn't that much of a difference from the last one. It's just a little about to start sign to see everyone go antsy, a little pumped up. But it actually did start very quickly after the sign did appear, which, is always good. And then the event actually started, and just looking at the little animations of characters, it was really cool to watch. And unfortunately, it was a little bit laggy. Part of this is because of the screen recorder I used. It just was not going to have it. But part of it was because they had 7 full servers, and that is a lot of pressure to put onto the thing. But I really liked the art for the little podium and the little TV screen and the little ballot counters. But what I really liked was the way that they let the NPCs come out. I thought that was really cool. You start off seeing Alec Tin, and he's, sorry, and he's telling you about everything that's gonna happen, and he's standing in front of the podium. He's just I've been waiting for this for ever, and it was just really cool to watch. And I really like how they kept the art. I think I'm gonna keep saying this over and over again in this video, but I really like how they kept the art scheme true to Toontown, because in a lot of remake games, they don't always keep it traditional the same. I mean, hopefully they can like up the graphics but still keep it the same. But looking at that little TV and looking at the podium stand, it looks like they did do that, and they did very well. And after Tim finishes talking and giving his opening speech, he lets Slappy give his little thing. I really liked how how the producers of Toontown made it so it was like a TV thing. It felt realistic. I like how they have this little side angle on him. It really worked. And same for when they did Flippy. I thought it was very well done. It was just again, it was just like really cool to watch because it's Toontown and it's Toontown Rewritten. We've never seen it before. And the way that they presented everything was just like so like because we've never seen something like this. We usually only see Flippy behind a desk, and you usually see all the other characters behind a desk. So it was really cool to see them in front of us speaking and it making sense what they were saying with the situation. I'm just gonna let you like watch what happens in a little bit. Again, I'm sorry about the lag too. Now this part I really thought was very cool. You know, the little ballot things are counting down the clock. Well, not the clock, but all the ballots and stuff. And it just looked really cool. I thought it was really nice. But I was very mad at how they tricked us like that at first. Flippy was gonna win. Then out of nowhere, the ballot machine just starts counting extra, like another 1,000 plus 500 counts. And for Slappy's side, and Flippy is still like low the number. And when you find out that Slappy won, I was just like, are you kidding me? This game is not going to be the way I want it to be. This game is gonna be like, no, it's gonna be completely different because, you know, and then I started to think of, well, I guess this proves that they're probably not gonna let Flippy be the president because they're not gonna use any characters. But then this cog came down, and I was just like, I called it. I was just like, I called this. If you watched the last video, I called it, but I was kind of withdrawing from it, but I still called it. And then after the call comes, Slappy, of course, as his new like presidential title, tells the cog who he is, and he starts just talking, and talking. And of course, because Slappy is supposed to be a comedic character, he just keeps trying to be quote unquote funny to the cog, and the cog just does not like it, and he's just like, stop. Slappy keeps going, and the cog has enough with Slappy, and he makes him go sad, as you will see in a couple seconds. There it is. Alright. And this was sort of like, okay, so this is how everything happened, because you can sort of tell the storyline from here, but you will not expect what happens next. So, Flippy comes down, and he's like, what are you? Because, you know, no one in Toontown Rewritten has ever seen anything like this before. You know, this is before Toontown Online, so that I like how they tied the storyline into everything. And like, Flippy's kind of like, no, get away from me, you monster, like, I don't want to get away. And of course, he uses his flag from his campaign, because, you know, that's the only defense that we have right now. He defeats the cog. And I was just like, oh, so this is how everything happened, you know? I was just like, okay, so how did we get more cogs? And that was shortly answered by Dr. Shirley. And I liked this part because it was sort of like, I like how they made it like interactable to the game, you know, like the NPCs and stuff. And I like how they like originated a background story for how the cogs came to Toontown, because this was cool. I expected cogs to come, but I did not expect cogs to come the way that they did. You got the sky dimming, turning gray, and you got like waves of cogs to patch and defeat. And it was just really cool to watch. And you know, as you're defeating the cogs and stuff, you got little cameras, and they're panning around to different little tunes. And you know, I like how it was a 3D fight. I really like that little aspect of it. I just really think that Toontown Rewritten is going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome, because if they can pull off something like this, they can pull off just about anything in Toontown, or Toontown Rewritten rather. And when all the cogs came from the sky, I was just like, what? Because you know, you've never seen little cogs in the playgrounds ever in Toontown history, Toontown Online history, or Toontown Rewritten history. You've never seen cogs in Toontown Central or any playground. In the playground, like, I was just like, what? And it was just like so cool to watch this. I was just like, oh my gosh, this game is gonna be awesome. What I really liked was how when Toons took damage, they got their silly meter was above their head. I thought that was very cool, because I was just thinking about like what types of uses this could be used for, and if you just don't like it, think of it like this. How many times have you been in the VP, or in the CEO, or in the factory, or in the mint, and Toons try to get in with not full laugh? Well, you can tell that they're not full laugh before you get into like little boarding groups with them, and it just saves so much time. You can also use that for when, say, you're in battle and you need help. Toons can see that you need help, and you can also see if someone's lying about needing help just to try to get you to help them for no reason. I really like how they did that. It's a new idea. It looked cool. It looked really good, and I liked it. One of the things that I do want to say though is, although the event was very cool, I hope that they get cogs into the street, because I wouldn't want to like have to fight cogs in the playground and not do anything on the street, but like go between little places, because that would be a big difference to the game, and I would not like that. I do like the idea of being able to have little invasions, and during those invasions, cogs come to the playground. In this little bit, I'm just showing you how the camera like sort of panned between characters during it, and I thought that was really cool. So the whole time it wasn't just focused on Joey. I edited it to make it focus on Joey a little bit more, because egg. And I just really like the event altogether, except I didn't really like when they panned into the front view, which you just saw before it switched to another clip. I didn't like how it showed the front of the tune, because you could really see what they were doing, and it just didn't look right. And as you keep watching, you can tell that the level cogs are getting higher, because they start off with waves, and they kept getting increasingly higher. It was just really, watching it, I was just like, I want to play, this looks awesome. And I really think that I really honestly do think that that silly meter being above the head is like awesome. I love it. It's just, I really like how they did that. I liked how the moderators and stuff were in quote unquote character too. I thought that was cute. That was really cool too. It just made the experience better. And you know, after all the dressed up cogs, well, not really dressed up, but you know, completed cogs, I should say, came, you got a surprise that you may or may not have been expecting. Oh, oops, never mind, I'm too far ahead, so I'm not gonna say anything about it yet, but here's what I'm talking about with the little front view thing, about how you can't really see what they're doing, what they're going to. I mean, you can see when they're obviously running around and stuff, but it just wasn't very nice to watch. So the levels kept increasing and getting higher and getting higher, and the battle kept getting a little bit worse, and unfortunately some toons did go sad. If you want a little tickle of silence with me. Good job, toons. You fought for us to get to that the way once again. But yeah, after, you know, everything was going well, you're just like, oh my gosh, this is the best game ever. You're just like, this is so cool. I've never expected anything like this to happen, you know. The cogs kept getting harder. Just like, I really want to play this. But after the completed cogs finished, you got what you weren't expecting to get. And that was the skeleton cogs. No one was really expecting to see Skelecogs this early in the game, but it's cool to know that they worked fast and worked hard on this. And after watching this, I take back what I said about, like, if it did not go well today, scratch the event, because I would have been very upset had they, I probably wouldn't have been upset because I wouldn't know what I was missing, but, oh, yeah, but I'll finish this off first, but I would be a little bit upset because, you know, I was not expecting that to happen. But yeah, after you got to the climax of the event, well, the climax, you were in the rising action of it, the system crashed, and you went back to seeing the lovely screen that I love so much. But then, thank goodness, they brought the game back, except it was just the developers and moderators, which is fine because I'm not in the game anyways. But if you are in the game, you're pretty displeased. You're just like, oh, I want to finish it. But, you know, I'm really glad that they actually did finish it with just the moderators too, because it made things more clear, and it was just nice to watch. This is sort of the boss fight of the round, or of the game, because this was a level 50, yes, team, level 50 Skelecog. And he kept referring to himself as the chairman. And I don't know if that means that we're going to get, like, a new Cog HQ, which is, like, Skelecogs. I think that would be a really cool idea, to have, like, a Skelecog HQ. I also don't know if we get a new boss, and he calls himself the chairman. The chairman, rather. Same difference, but I think that would be really cool. I really liked how this boss fight, like, it reminded me a little bit of the VP. He would say enough, and then he would do a jump move, but he would also do this one really cool move, where he would put, like, a little 3D cloud above a character's head, and then it would do, like, a little storm cloud thing, which I think a lot of the law bots used, and I know that some of the boss bots did use that too. I really think any cog could have used it, but those are the ones I specifically remember seeing. And it did remind me a bit of the VP, because you would throw the clouds at him and it would push him back, although he'd push him forward, and it just worked. Now, as you got towards the end of the fight, you see Flippy. You see Flippy at the end, and he's just like, he actually begins to help you guys out, and he's just like, this is for, you know, the election, and at the end he's like, and this is for Toontown. He throws a wedding cake, which is the first wedding cake that we've ever seen, after level 50, and the level 50 goes up with light. The sky suddenly clears up, and it's back to seeing bright and sunny Toontown Central, and we're all just like, oh my gosh, Flippy saved the day. This is how it all started, because I'm really glad that they cleared this up, because back in 2008 when I first heard the game and I wanted to play, I was just like, how did this even happen anyway? Like, how did the cogs come? How did Flippy get elected president? Why isn't Mickey Mouse the president? I still don't know why Mickey Mouse isn't the president, but after, like, reading forums, I kind of get a reason why. He's the president of Toontown, but he's not, like, the president of the Toon Council. But Flippy's still the president, guys. Whatever happened. And it really just cleared up a lot of it. And at the end, you know, the little moderators and developers are still in their little characters, and they're still acting everything out, which I thought was pretty decent. I still don't know what happened to Flippy. I mean, Slappy, but you know, this is Flippy's moment, because we get this little sweet zoom in on him, and just like, tunes of the world, pause, unite! And then it's this little cool freeze frame of him there, and then we go, shortly after that, it pans out, Toontown Rewritten, like, as the little bum, the music's there. I'm sorry I don't have music, by the way. And then it zooms in to a little teleport hole thing, and then you get the credits. And I was just like, that was so cool. It was so amazing. You know, I was never expecting that. I was expecting Cogs, but I was never, ever expecting Cogs to come like that. I mean, I might have thought that they would have invaded the streets, but I would have never guessed that they would have invaded Toontown Central. And I think that there were a little bit bumps in the road, but ultimately, it worked, you know? I can see how it would have been a challenge to get the cogs to go into Toontown Central, because the AI was a bit off, you know? The AI is like the direction for which the, like, NPCs are directed at, I guess. But yeah, the AI was off, and it's such a small space to try to put, like, dozens of cogs and people in, so I can see how it's hard. But also, after it all ended, we get this note saying that Alpha for Toontown Rewritten is closed, and that no one can ever get in. If you want to find more information, you have to go to the website. But yeah, I'm okay with that. We're getting better soon, so that's good. And that's basically what happened at the live stream. So I'm going to end it here because of the